Hey there. The other day, I saw Mike Mills' new film, Beginners, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it an 8. It's about relationships, life, trying to figure out how to love someone, love yourself. It's about love, I guess. More specifically, it's about Hugh McGregor. His father, played by Christopher Plummer, lived all of his life as a straight man. His wife passes away, and at the age of 75 reveals that he is in fact gay, and wants to live out the rest of his life as a gay man. So, hence the Beginners. And Ewan McGregor is, I guess, struggling in his romantic life. I mean, it doesn't really seem that way. He appears to have lots of relationships in his life, so I guess he's just searching for something. Anyway, I mean, it didn't seem like much of a problem to me. Anyway, but that's my personal take on it. Again, it was very good. My trouble with the film is basically my trouble with any romantic, and it was a comedy. I mean, it's also very bleak. It's also very sad. I mean, you feel a lot of emotions watching this film. Really, it runs the gamut. But I just can't identify. I always feel when I watch a movie about romance and making relationships work, I always feel like I am an outsider. And I'm watching more out of, a learning tool than anything else. I can never really see anything that's me in a film like this. And so they never like truly deeply hit me. But it's obviously a very well made film. It's just that I can't identify with it the way I want to. It also stars, let's see, Ewan McGregor, Christopher Plummer, Melanie Laurent. Who else is in there? Well, those are the big three. The dog has a bigger role than most humans in this. And it does feature a dog that talks. In subtitles, it doesn't speak, but we get to hear its thoughts. And I kind of got from it that its owners, its masters, could also hear it. But maybe I was just looking too deeply into it. But I thought the dog was great. The dog had, the best lines, really. The performances are tremendous. The chemistry between all of the characters, particularly between Ewan McGregor and Christopher Plummer, are just completely natural. They must have spent, I wondered how long they had to spend in rehearsal, because it was just like breathing. I totally bought that they were father and son. All of the relationships here, it just seemed completely natural. A focus on acting, and it it made it great. It also looks really good. Very muted tones. It's a Los Angeles movie. I mean, pretty much everything takes place in Los Angeles, and it's not like one of those where it could be any city, but it just happens to be Los Angeles. No, this is a Los Angeles film, and really, they don't make it look like Los Angeles. Los Angeles is bright, and almost like insultingly bright. And they definitely mute it here. There's a lot of blues. There's not a lot of blues in Los Angeles. There's a lot of, like, just muted blue tones. So it's like you're really... and I think it changes, depending on his state of mind or his mood. So I like that. It looks really good. It looks really good. Again... a great film. It's a great film. The reason I can't give it an over an 8 is because my heart never really felt, into it. I felt that I was transported into their world and completely absorbed by their world. But I guess what I felt like is a fly on the wall. I felt like a fly on the wall in these people's lives, but I never felt like I was participating. And that's what I really love about movies, is when I feel like I'm right there, doing something with them. Here I feel like I'm standing back and watching. Again, that's a personal thing, but really very wise. There's a lot of wisdom there. It's really about just being who you are, and that's important. I really just can't get past the acting. I mean, that's what really had me into it, was the acting was entirely natural. You just can't tell. So that really is what makes it great for me. But it was very good. I'm trying to think of anything else that stood out about it. It is sad. It's heavy. It is about life and the difficulties of life. And, I guess the joy of finding someone to share the misery with. It's about life. I really don't know what else to say about it. It was really good. But I felt like an outsider instead of and I felt like an observer instead of a participant. And I get enough observations done in life, so I like to participate in my movies. But the acting really is tremendous. I would hope that that Christopher Plummer get a Best Supporting nomination for this, and I feel that Ewan McGregor did a great job. It's one of his best performances, and Ewan McGregor is so underrated. He's a part of the biggest movie franchise of all time, or one of them being Star Wars. And, he's been around for, since Trainspotting. And, I don't know, he is consistently awesome. And it just doesn't seem like he gets the love that he should. I don't even know if he's been nominated for Best Actor. I think he should be here. Again, their performances transported me into their world. Even though I could not understand a lot of their problems, they made me, they made me get it. And obviously a lot of that belongs to the writing. I mean, the writing is very true and wise, and that's Mike Mills. Mike Mills wrote and directed this. I can't think of his other films. They just slipped my mind. I can't think. But I think this is his third film. That's impressive. So again, I had it was not my cup of tea, but it was obviously a very well-made cup of tea. So I have to give it an 8. It's a solid 8. Definitely a highlight of the year, and the performances are award-worthy. So that's Beginners. It's an 8. Check it out. Thanks.